Okay, next we move to secondary treatment process. Secondary treatment process, also known as biological process. Okay, so it happens here in the aeration tank. Okay, where the wastewater being converted into biomass. Okay, so the secondary treatment process consists of biological conversion of dissolved and colloidal organics. So dissolved and colloidal organics coming from your wastewater. Okay, so the wastewater will be converted into biomass that can be removed by sedimentation. Okay, if you refer to the figure just now, after we have aeration tank, it will be flow to the clarifier. Okay, because after it become biomass, it will be settled at the bottom and then will be removed. Okay. So the influent contain about 40 to 50% of suspended solid. Okay, as I mentioned in the primary treatment, so primary treatment can remove about 40 to 50% of suspended solid. So the rest will be coming in the secondary treatment process. Okay. So in this biological process, microorganism will be added into the wastewater. And then the wastewater will become the food supply to the microorganism. Okay, so microorganism tu akan makan your organics, your dissolved, your all material inside the wastewater, and then turn into biomass. Okay. So for this one, it requires understanding of biological principle, kinetic of metabolism, mass balance, and also physical operation. Okay, if you look at this graph, okay, concentration versus time, this is actually the growth and food utilization phases. Okay, it can be divided into four. The first one is lag phase, log growth phase, stationary phase, and lastly endogenous phase. Okay, if you look, we have two lines. Okay, the first one is food. Okay, what is food? Food is the dissolved and also colloidal organic compound in your wastewater. Okay, that being used by the microorganism to be converted into biomass. Okay, so the food line will be decreased over time, and then the biomass will be increasing after log growth phase. Okay, so let us look at the first phase, lag phase. So what is lag phase? Lag phase represent the how the microorganism want to adapt themselves into the wastewater. Okay, so bila kita masukkan microorganism into the wastewater, so they need time to adapt themselves with the environment. So it needs time. Kalau tengok dekat biomass graph ni, they slowly increase. Okay, and then started at log growth phase. Okay, here the increase of the biomass will be in exponential growth. Okay, because dia dah try to adapt, dia dah selesa dengan environment, so dia akan start untuk increase rapidly. Okay, under log growth phase. So biomass akan increase rapidly. After sometimes dia akan reach stationary phase. Okay, so phase number 3 is the stationary phase. This is where the growth akan slow. Okay, so the new cells equals to dying cells. So this is the peak of biomass growth. Okay, and then lastly, the fourth phase is the endogenous phase. This is where the dying cells will be more than new cells form, ataupun kita panggil sebagai death phase. Okay, so the biomass slowly decrease as well as food supply. Okay, so food supply pun dah habis, so biomass akan decrease. Okay, so you have to remember this growth and food utilization. Okay, we have 4 phases represent the dissolved and colloidal organics dalam wastewater being converted into biomass. Okay, macam mana being converted? Because of the microorganism. Okay, remember this is biological process. So biological always involved with microorganism. Okay, so next look at the suspended culture system. Okay, the second biological treatment is suspended culture system. Suspended means dekat the media, so dia akan suspended on the media. Okay, dia ada 2 jenis, suspended growth and attached growth. So kalau attached growth, dia akan attach to the media. Okay, so let us look one by one. Okay, ni activity slide sama macam tadi. This is actually the one I've mentioned before, activated sludge that involve microorganism. Okay. Okay, so this is suspended culture system. Example, we can use ponds and lagoon. Okay, just dump everything in the ponds. Okay, so dia akan berlaku biological process. Okay, so this is pond and lagoon. At the bottom, this is the bottom sludge. Okay, dia macam lapisan sludge. Kat sini anaerobic zone. In the middle is the facultative zone. And at the top is the aerobic zone. Okay, sebab dia dekat dengan udara, so sini boleh berlaku aeration. Okay, so this is pond and lagoon. Okay, and then for attached culture system, we have 3 reactors can be used. The first one is trickling filter, number 2 is biotower, and lastly RBC, rotating biological contactor. Okay, so you can read by yourself, trickling filter. This is the mechanism of trickling filter. Okay, we have filter media, and then the biomass will be slowly thickened. Okay, so after thickening occur, so dia akan berlaku peel off. Okay, sebab dia dah tebal sangat on the surface of the filter media. So after sometimes it will be peel off. Bila dah peel off, dia akan start balik. So that is the process. Okay. Media ni dekat tengah ni. Okay, so trickling filter, the wastewater coming from the bottom, dia akan naik ke atas, dia akan spray through rotating distributor arms. Okay, so bila dia spray, dia akan masuk dalam packing media. So dekat media ni akan berlaku the biomass peel off tu. Okay, number 2, RBC, rotating biological contactor. Okay, so that's all. And then next we move to sludge treatment and disposal. Okay, so wastewater treatment objective can be accomplished by concentrating impurities into solid and then separating this solid from the bulk liquid. Okay, so bila kita dah separate the liquid into solid, so solid tu kita boleh buang. Okay, so solid tu kita panggil sebagai sludge. So sludge disposal facilities about 40 to 50% of the operating cost of IETS. Okay, so the whole IETS, half of it cover untuk sludge disposal facilities sahaja. Okay, sebab untuk dispose sludge a bit costly. Okay. Okay, and then for primary sludge, it can be removed by primary settling. Okay, so this is the equation used to calculate the mass, okay, and also efficiency, suspended solid, and also flow rate. Okay, M equals to ESSQ.